Good day, everyone. I'm Jerry Cavadonga from BIT4A FSMA, and in this video, we're going to tackle about plant layout and plant locations in Chapter 3. So let's begin. What is plant layout? It is a plan for effective utilization of facilities for the manufacture of products, involving a most efficient and economical arrangement of machines, materials, personnel, storage space, and all supporting services within available floor space. So, it is a plan of optimum management of facilities which include the personnel, operating equipment, storage space, material handling equipment, and all other supporting services, and etc. So, next one, the following are example of cost used in operations. Well, in this one, the first one is rent, the second one is machines and equipment, third one utilities, then next materials, parts, maintenance and repair, freight and delivery, and the last one is manpower. So the next one is objectives of plan layout. So all those involved in the production system, including employees, managers, and supervisors, should be able to have their needs satisfied by the layout. To achieve the aforementioned goals, the plant layout should be planned with the following goals in mind. So, this is the following one. Minimize material handling, facilitate manufacturing progress by maintaining balance in the processes. Next is maintain flexibility of arrangement and operations. Next, maintaining high turnover of in-process inventory. Next, effective utilization of men, equipment and space. Then, increase employee morale, minimize interference from machines. Then the last one is reduce hazard affecting employees. So that's all for the objectives of plant layout. So we're going to the next slides. Importance of plant layout. So the first one is weight, volume, and mobility. Second, length of the process in relation to handling time. 3. The extent to which the process tends toward mass productions. So, understanding the impact of an effective layout on the manufacturing functions, which makes it seamless and effective, will help one better comprehend the significance of a layout, operational efficiency, including reductions in the cost of handling supplies, minimizing production delays, and avoiding bottlenecks, all depends on appropriate architecture. So less materials handling, fewer staff and equipment needs, and decrease process inventories all contribute to lower production costs in a well-designed plant. So that's all for importance of plant layout. Then we're going to the next slides. Problems in plant layout management may arise. So in this one, number one is there are design changes in the product, which is the product design has changed. Number two, there is an expansion of the enterprises. So there is an increase in the size of the business. Number three, there is a proposed variation in the size of the departments. A change in the department sizes has been recommended always. Number four, some new product is to be added to the existing line. So to the current line, a new item will be inserted. Then number five, some new department is to be added to enterprises and there is a reallocation of the existing department. So the enterprises is going to add a new department and move several other departments around. So the last one is a new plant is to be set up. or it will establish. Next one, manufacturing considerations. So there are three groups of general classification and manufacturing consideration. These are layout by product or for serialized or production line manufacturer. Then the second one, layout by operations for job layout manufacture. Then number three, layout by stationary material primarily for manufacture of large parts and assemblies. So in layout by product, product layout is a structural arrangement of various machines concentrating on producing a single final product. So in number two naman, no, sa example ng layout product is yung sa bottled water. So it focus on one product only. So the process of it is from raw material going to cleaning and disinfections. Then next is water refilling. Then the last step was packaging and labeling. Of course then ready to store so that the example of manufacturing processing. So that's all for layout by product. Then in layout by operations, the arrangement of people, equipment, materials, and methods to create products in order of process in a continuous flow. Then, in 3 naman, layout by stationary material primarily. So, in this one, in a fixed position, layout, the project remains in one place, and workers and equipment come to the one work area. So, lahat ng equipments, mapupunta yon sa isang locations lang. Yung example naman nito is yung ship, yung highway, bridge, house, and operating table, and hospital operating room. Like that. So, meron tong mga disadvantage and advantages. Itong 3 na to. So, layout by production. Advantages. It minimizes material handling, reduce the length and time of the manufacturing cycle, tends to cut inventories of in-process work, save floor space, makes production control virtually automatic, facilitates administration over operators, output, and quality. So yung disadvantage naman niya is it lack flexibility to meet substantial changes in product design or in a production requirements. Then the third one is maintenance and downtime problems. So the last one is its tendency to yield a low utilization of equipment. So that's all for layout by production and advantage and disadvantages. So yung sa layout by operation naman is yung yung advantages is offering some flexibility to accommodate product variety and demand fluctuations. Then the second one, permit maximum machine utilization. So the third one, provide less duplication of tools, jigs, and pictures. Makes for lower setup and servicing costs. So the last one is better control of high precision complicated products can be achieved because better specialization or skill is permitted. Then the disadvantages, backtrack backtracking is the rule that rather than extension and substantially higher inventories are necessary. Then the second one, material must be moved in out of the storerooms, production centers. The third one's delay occur between operations. The fourth one, considerable paperwork is involved since separate production order are required for each article fabricated. So the fifth one, the reporting, tracing, and following up materials in process are usually laborious and expensive. So the next one, the last, the handling of material between operation is slow and costly. So that's all for the advantages and disadvantages of layout by operations. So for the layout by stationary material, primarily or fixed position layout. Yung advantages niya naman is the possibility of assigning one of or more skilled workers to a project from start to finish. The second one is maximum flexibility for all sorts of changes in a product and processing. Then the last one for the advantages is the opportunity to take on a number of quite different projects with the same layout. So yun yung disadvantages niya naman is difficult in applying proper machine tools and specialized employee skills due to immobile materials. So next slide, plant buildings. So the building system is a hybrid system that combines a novel type of panel with extremely specific modules. Compared to other fabricated construction methods, the system offers a great deal more more design freedom, transportation efficiency, and time savings. So there are two main types of buildings. That's the number one is single story building. The number two is multi-story building. Single story building provides more illuminations, then easier to expand by simply moving a wall. So dito, may expand natin siya which is by removing a wall lang. So, gives greater floor loading capacity with less vibration and requires lighter foundation. Next, permit easier handling and routing of materials. So, ayun nga, madali lang makakakuha ng permit para makakuha ng mga materials. Then, facility supervisions. Then, the next one is multi-story building. Efficient use of land space result in lower cost of constructions, lower heating costs, possibility of vertically arranged production areas, compact layout. So that's all for plant buildings. Then we're going to the next slides. Plant locations. What is plant location? It's the choice of region or place where people, money, materials, machinery, and equipment are brought together in setting up a business. So the term plant location describe the region of specific site that are chosen for the construction of a factory or business. Plant location is the right location for the manufacturing. So that's all for plant location. What is an ideal locations? So in ideal locations is one where the cost of the product is kept to minimum with a large market share, the least risk, and the maximum social gain. So an ideal location is the place of maximum net advantage or which give lowest unit cost of production and distributions. So factor that affecting plant location are selecting of region, selecting of particular community, selecting of the exact plant site. So when it comes to the selecting of region, so usually the location we're going to provide was malayo sa matao usually. Then selecting a particular community, then the last one is selecting the exact plant site. That's all for what is an ideal location. So selecting a region, proximity to the market. So proximity to the market, of course, when we select a region, the best thing to do was to select nearness to the marketplace so the marketing was easy and not hard to deliver because it was close to the marketplace. So 1.2, proximity to necessary materials. When it comes to this, raw material supplies, spare parts, and other basic materials was so very important when it comes to picking a region to a plant business because there's a problem when it comes to your business. You can get more supplies because it close around your area. Then sa um, availability of transportation facilities. Then in this one, it tells transportation plays a vital role in the selection of region because if a company lacks sufficient transportation in infrastructure or distribution equipment, they can always rely on the facilities that are close to their plant locations. So in advocacy of public and private services, it tells you it is very important to mind the adequate supply of resources in the areas such as electricity, communication, water supply, fuel, and gas of your plant sites. So because the primary important in all business was the resources. If one of these is you don't have or your business may not work because of lack resources uses. So next is 1.5, climate condition. Climate changes affects the product's quality, so the plant site should be located in a favorable climate, especially if the business have perishable goods or product that require certain amount of temperature and humidity. When it comes to picking an area, you need to be aware on location, syempre. When it comes to planting because it's so very sensitive to climate change. Number two, selecting a particular community. 2.1 is labor supply. In selecting a particular community, the business should take note of that community that is labor abundant. So, to have a competitive advantage over its rival, the community should also have a large pool of skilled and knowledgeable labor. So, that's all for labor supply. Then, in wage scale, in selecting particular community, the business should take note of the community that is labor abundant. So, one of the most significant factors affecting a plant location is the pay scale because the labor force is motivated and driven by compensation and salary. A competitive wage and low cost to the companies working capital will result in a respectable profit for the enterprises. Next, other enterprises in the community. This factor gives an advantage to your plant site since the trending business operations. So, the last one is this refers to the favorable living conditions. This refers to the living conditions within the community where your plant is located. So this factor benefits your plant site because the current trend in business operation calls for business to business partnerships and business close to the area where your plant site is located will grant you to those partnerships. And through this partnership, some costs such as production, transportation, etc. will be eliminated. Then the last one, number three, selection of the exact plant site. There are land, transportation, zoning restriction, fire protection, waste disposal. So inland is the most important factor for potential expansions, parking, and sustainability for the type of building. So in transportation, accessibility of transportation facilities, either public or private. So in zoning restriction naman, these are elimination on where a plant site may be located. They are always subject to prevailing laws and the goods produced by the company. And in fire protections, one of the key consideration in choosing a plant location is fire protection, of course. The facilities, tools, and equipments in the area are all checked for fire safety. Then the last one is waste disposal. Companies that sell perishable goods and hazardous goods should have a proper waste management system. The management is also responsible for following established protocols in conjunction with the government to dispose of such waste. So that's all for the selection of the exact plant sites. Then the next slide is trends in plant locations. Number one is tendency to locate away from city. So plant sites are usually located away from the cities because of the reason of government policy and the less opportunity of expansion of location or a lot of areas. Because of the government regulation and the limited potential for development, plant location are typically found outside of urban areas. So number two, decentralization of industries. Licensing regulation prohibited industrial unit concentration as a part of the government's international industrial policy. In some places that are heavily industrialized, new units cannot be started. Similar to these existing units, sometimes shift their entire operation or simply set up their additional plants in less developed locations. So in number three, swing towards planned industrial centers. So in this one, um, in business, frequently position their plant site in industrial park or centers because doing so encourages investors to have an assume in how the property is used and how the location is prepared for manufacturing companies and investors. Then the last one is growing competition for industry. So numerous local organizations make an effort to persuade a potential promoters to locate the units in their areas as industry creates employment or prospects for the local community. They offer a variety of incentives including affordable land and reduced local taxes. So that's all for trends and plant locations. Next is location analysis. Um, it includes demographic analysis. The first one. It includes an analysis of the local population demographic, including total population, age distribution, level of education, occupational structure, and the last one is per capita income, etc. So that's for demographic analysis. Trade area analysis. In trade area analysis, it analyzing the region that consistently sends client to the business. He would also consider the viability of entering the commerce area from different locations. So that's for trade area analysis. Competitive analysis. This one, understanding the kind, geography, size, and level of rivalry in a certain trade region is important. So the fourth one is traffic analysis. Traffic analysis tries to evaluate the alternative sites in terms of pedestrian and vehicular traffic passing in a site in order to get a general concept of how many potential consumers will pass by the proposed site during the working hours of the shop. Then the last one is site economics. In this one, under this, alternative location are assessed in terms of establishment cost and operational cost. Operational costs, also known as running costs, are costs incurred for conducting business on a daily basis. Establishment costs are primarily expenses for permanent physical facilities. So that's all for site economics, the location analysis. Then that's all for today, and thank you for watching and listening. Peace.